It was Access to Justice Day at the State House, and advocates of civil legal services gathered to discuss legislation to fund Maine programs. According to supporters, $2 million of funding for Maine's civil legal aid system is set to run out in July. A bill with bipartisan support has been brought forward that's looking for continued funding of the programs. Supporters say although there are current issues surrounding Maine's criminal legal aid, civil is essential as well, especially for those with low incomes.
We need more lawyers with expertise in the areas of law that impact Mainers who can't afford an attorney. Critical problems like evictions, domestic violence, elder abuse, and denial of veterans' benefits.
We've got the infrastructure built. What we really need is the resources and the support to just build on that infrastructure that's working well but just can't do enough.
A public hearing was held in the Judiciary Committee on the bill following the press conference, plus a presentation to the committee by the Justice Action Group.